Hey guys, I got something a little non-terrain related for you today. I'm going to go ahead and show you my Reaper Kickstarter figures that I have unpacked. Now the reason I've unpacked these is because projects are starting to get caught up quite rapidly, and I am actually going to be starting a Pathfinder Rise of the Runelords game here at the end of September. So the beginning of October I'll be playing that on Sundays. I'll be running it for a few hours, just a little something at the end of the week to kind of cool off and let my brain unplug from work. So as you can see, this is a lot of figures. I went through these the other day and kind of organized them. It was just the basic vampire Kickstarter from 2012, I think. Just getting everything organized. I'm actually going to go through and probably airbrush these when I start painting the Middenheim board, just to at least get them color coded. I've got a bunch more over here. These are just ones that that are not going to really fit into anything because they're these weird Chronoscape ones that I can't find a use for. And then these are all the iconics for Pathfinder, which I will probably paint up at some point in the future. But the main reason I got these, and I'm doing this video, are these, which I've already primed. You can not prime Reaper Bones figures, but I don't like starting from white. Personally, I like starting from black on most of my paint schemes, so it just worked better for me to go ahead and prime them. So these are their Nova miniatures, and then I think it's IES or IEFS or something like that, but these are their sci-fi miniatures. Each one of these, it comes in like a couple for like $2, and I'd been trying to figure out a use for these, and suddenly I started thinking these would actually work really well as stand-ins for Infinity. I want to start a new Infinity army, but I just really didn't have the time or the funds to dedicate towards it, because obviously every time I start an army, and that's my alarm going off, let me turn that off, but every time I start an Infinity army I tend to spend, or any army for that matter, I tend to spend a lot. So, for scale, here are some of my Toha. And as you can see, these are relatively in scale with Infinity. I mean, they may not be perfectly in scale, but their base size and their height works the same. And weapons-wise, you've got things that are relatively on par. So this is a Toha unit with an HMG, and this guy could also count as a unit with an HMG. I'm not sure which army I'm going to run these as. It's kind of a toss-up, I think, between Ariadna or Hakaslam. Only because the Ariadna, they kind of have equipment on par with the Ariadna, but they could also run as Hakaslam because I think that they look kind of like the Hakaslam heavy units. Like if you just look at how their armor is built. I'm not sure. This is not a project that I will be doing very often. It's just something I'm going to probably do in my spare time whenever I'm relaxing after a long day of work, just a little bit at a time. So yeah, that's just a little update on that. I'm also going to be retouching the Plascraft set at some point in the future, adding some extra little bits to kind of spruce it up a bit.